Happy Monday, ladies. I got a very quick talk for you today. Okay, I want to tell you about a story of a 65 to 70 inch TV that my son was able to get from a friend of his, right? So he gets this TV and I see it in the garage and I'm like, what are you going to do with that? And he says, oh, I'm going to create an LED light from this TV. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. And then I said, well, where are you going to put the TV? And he said, oh, in my room. So then I was thinking, okay, where in your room? This TV is 65 to 70 inches. So I'm thinking, like, if you leave it on the floor, it's going to be in the way, right? If you put it on the wall, then which wall? Because that means that you're going to have to take everything off of one of the walls you have in order for it to fit. This is a 65 to 70 inch TV. I'm going somewhere with this. Okay, so finally he takes the TV from the garage up to his bedroom, right? Okay, and then he places the TV in the middle of the floor of his bedroom, right? And then I said, so what are you going to do with the TV? He said, well, remember I told you I'm going to make an LED light. And I said, right, but it's on the middle, in the middle rather, of the floor of your bedroom. He said, yeah, I'll get to it in a few days. So finally he looks at the TV, okay? And the long story short version of it, he realized that the TV did not work. So he was not going to be able to create the LED light and mount the TV on the wall. So I said, now you need to take the TV out of your bedroom because you can't move around now and take it back downstairs to the garage. So I kept reminding him and reminding him and reminding him about getting the TV taken over to the electronics place, the electronic waste drop off, right? It never happened. Finally, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I called them up and I was told that the waste department will not pick up electronics. I have to get it over to the electronics department. And I said, waste, department or whatever. And I said, well, what if your car is not going to accommodate a TV that big? And it's like, well, that's on you. We just letting you know we're not going to pick it up, okay? And so what happens is I had a friend of mine who said someone will pick it up if you put it on the curb. They always come out and check right before the garbage truck comes, right? So I put it at the curb thinking that a person that collects junk was going to pick up the TV. How about the TV sat out there for a good 3 weeks almost. And I said, let me bring it back in before the next thing you know, I end up with a fine. And that will not be fine, right? Okay. So the TV ends up back inside of my garage after I had sweated literally blood, sweat, and tears by myself trying to maneuver the TV to get it on this particular cart and try to get it out of the garage to get it to the curb, only to find out nobody picked it up within 3 weeks. Okay. And all of that struggle to get it out. Right. So why am I telling you this story of this TV? Right. You've met this man. Okay. You first met him. He wanted to come inside your house. You had the boundary. No, I don't just bring anyone in right away. I got to get to know them. So when he comes over, you sit in the garage on lawn chairs, right? You sit in the garage having a conversation, right? The next thing you know, like that TV, he has moved from the garage all the way up to your bedroom. And then you're trying to figure out, okay, how did he even get here? And now what am I going to do, right? He love bombs you by telling you some type of childhood trauma story, right? The next thing you know, you're trauma bonded to him because you shared too much. You've told everything about your mama, daddy, grandmama, granddaddy, everybody, right? And so the next thing you know, you're trauma bonded to him because he shared one or two things to appear to be vulnerable, which he's actually using fall vulnerability, right? Wearing like a fall leather jacket, he's wearing fall vulnerability. You fell for it, right? And so what happened is you told too much. You told all your family business, right? So like I said, next thing you know, you're in the bedroom and everything has taken place, right? So you're trauma bonded and now you're soul tied to him, right? You soul tied because you gave your body away, right? And the next thing you know, you've gone, the love bombing is over because he knows he's got you just right where he wants you to be. You're in the devaluation phase, right? Where he's gaslighting, manipulating, triangulating, and every other kind of aiding that's going on, blame shifting. And he's not only is he blame shifting, he's using projections against you. I mean, just everything, anything and everything that he could think of, belittling and devaluing every person, place, thing, or idea that you value. All of this mess is going on in the devaluation phase. So you finally get to the discard phase and you're like, good, I got to get him out of here, right? Except for instead of putting him out, you take him back down to the garage again. Like with the TV, you take him to the garage instead of out the door, right? And then finally, he's doing things to sabotage the situation so that you can have a reverse discard instead of him discarding of you and him leaving, right? What he does is keep doing things to sabotage the situation so you can put him out, right? As he's staying in your garage and got it set up like it's an apartment there. You finally got him out of the bedroom, but he's in a garage now, right? Like the TV. Finally, he forces your hands into the situation. You have to tell him, get out. But he's only going so far as the mailbox where my TV went, right? The TV that my son got, he's only as far as the mailbox. Why? Because he's decided he's not leaving and he doesn't see anybody else that's good supply material who's going to pick him up, so to speak, right? Like with the TV. So the next thing you know, he's back in your garage again, right? And then you keep calling up other people trying to see what it is that you should do. Well, girl, do you know what I should do? And then this is blah, blah, blah. And they've gotten to the point where they're sick and tired of hearing the story because they keep giving you advice and you're not taking the advice because you really don't want to know what it is that they think that you should do, right? It's a knowledge addiction. You've learned and learned and learned about what it is that you're in, but you really don't want to do anything because you're trauma bonded and soul tied to him. And you're trying to figure out, how am I going to get my love and addiction needs met, right? But every time you put him out, he hoovers you at the mailbox. In some kind of way, he ends up coming back in and living in the garage, right? He's set up a shop, so to speak, in the garage. He's got an apartment in the garage. My question to you is, how long is he going to sit in the garage, right? Before you make the final call of get out and he's staying out. That's just food for thought on this Monday. Until next time, be blessed.